Today we're going to be talking about solving one-step equations. There's a few definitions you need to know. Definition number one, an equation is a sentence that uses an equal sign to show that two expressions have the same value. For example, 5 plus 3 equals 8. Has an equal sign. We got to make sure they are the same on either side. 5 plus 3 is 8, and 8 does equal 8. That is an equation. Second definition, the addition and subtraction properties of equality tell us that you can add or subtract the same amount from both sides of the equation. Definition 3, the multiplication and division properties of equality tell us that you can multiply or divide both sides of the equation by the same non-zero number. So these properties are going to help us solve equations. We have a few Vics. Vic number one, your job is to get the variable by itself. You have a job when solving equations. You need to get that variable by itself. Vic number two, inverse operations undo each other. What do I mean by inverse operations? Addition and subtraction are inverse. Adding and subtracting undo each other. Multiplication and division are inverse operations. Multiplication and division undo each other. Vic number three, there is a golden rule of algebra you must learn. That is, what you do to one side, you must do to the other. What you do to one side, you must do to the other. And by that I mean each side of the equation. Vic number four, check your work. It's like the commercial, plug it in, plug it in. Always check your work. Let's do a few examples. Example 1. Y minus 12 equals 89. We have y minus 12 equals 89. This is an equation because it has an equal sign. So we want to get the variable by itself. Our job is to get y by itself. To do that, we're going to add 12 to each side. Remember, if you do it to one side, you have to do it to the other side. When we add 12 here and add 12 here, this is what happens. Your 12s cancel, so you just bring down your y, and 89 plus 12 is 101. Y equals 101. Let's check ourselves. Plug it in, plug it in. Go back up here, 101 minus 12. That's 89. We know that 89 does equal 89. Example number 2. X plus 2 equals 19. Again, our job is to get the variable by itself. How do we do that? Well, we have a plus 2. To get rid of a plus 2, we're going to use the inverse operation of subtraction. So we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. Subtract from both sides because our golden rule of algebra says if you do it to one, you have to do it to the other. So your 2's cancel and you're left with x on this side, and 19 minus 2 is 17. Your answer or solution is x equals 17. Let's check ourselves. 17 plus 2 is equal to 19. We are correct. Number 3, 8y equals 56. Notice 8y, the operation implied is multiplication. So 8 times y equals 56. To undo multiplication, you use division. We're going to divide by 8 on both sides. Remember, if you do it to one side, you have to do it to the other. Your 8's cancel, you're left with y equals 7. 56 divided by 8 is equal to 7. Let's check ourselves. Plug it in, plug it in. 8 times 7 equals 56. Well, 56 does equal 56. Last example. M divided by 5 equals 10. Notice here we have division. The inverse of division is multiplication. Because we are dividing by 5 here, we now are going to multiply by 5 on both sides of your equation. 5 times 5, those are going to cancel. 10 times 5 gives us 50. M equals 50. Let's check our work. 50 divided by 5 is 10. 10 equals 10. We're going to do a few practice problems. Practice problem number 1. 80 plus r equals 160. Remember, our job is to get r by itself. How do we do that? We have to move 80 to the other side. That is a positive 80, so we're going to subtract 80 from both sides. 80 80 minus 80 leaves you with 0. That cancels out. You're left with R equals 80. 160 minus 80 is 80. So your answer is 80. 80 plus 80 does equal 160. We are correct. Number 2, 20 equals y plus 12. Again, our job is to get that variable by itself. How do I get a positive 12 or a plus 12 to the other side? The inverse operation is subtraction. So you subtract 12, got to do it to both sides. Your 12s cancel, bring down your y. What is 20 minus 12? It is 8. Y is equal to 8. Let's plug it in, plug it in. 8 plus 12 does equal 20. So 20 equals 20. We are correct. Number 3, x divided by 3 equals 4. We have division here, so we have to undo that division by multiplying. If you do it to one side, you have to do it to the other. Your 3's are going to cancel. Bring down your x. X equals 4 times 3 is 12. Let's check to see if we're correct. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 4 equals 4. We have checked our own paper. Number 4, 270 equals 27x. Here the operation implied is multiplication. Remember, when a number and a variable are beside each other, multiplication is implied. To get rid of multiplication, I divide both sides by 27. The golden rule of algebra, you do it to one, you have to do it to the other. Your 27s cancel out. You're left with x equals 27 goes into 270 10 times. 10 equals x. Let's check ourselves. 27 times 10 is 270. We know we are correct.